Is it okay for a 19-year-old to date a guy in his 30s? It's legal. After that, it's touchy. ETA, I swear on all that is holy. I did not mean that pun. I mean in retrospect it's good, but purely unintentional. Legally? Yay. Socially, I think it's weird and too big of a gap at that age. Yes, it's weird. When you're in your 30s you will also think it's weird. I am late 20s and if one of my friends started to date a 19-year-old I would look at them very differently. It's okay legally but emo it's odd. Anyone in their 30s shouldn't be wanting to date someone whose age begins with 1. Feel free to do what you want. Just like me, and a decent portion of society will feel free to judge you for it. Odds of that working out are not good at all. Define in his 30s. Is he 31 or is he 39? The fuck would I have in common with a 19-year-old lol? All that screams is the 30-year-old has immaturity problems or can't find anyone his own age. Or in some cases, has a control issue. The old half your age plus 7 trick seems to give a reasonable answer most of the time. And my that math. A 30-year-old shouldn't date anyone younger than 22. So I'm voting weird on this one. Legally sure, other than that, fuck no. This is at least the 4th variation of this question I've seen posted this week. All by new accounts. Karma farming? I like the guide of half your age plus 7. So if 30 youngest would be 22. If 39 youngest would be 26. I'm in my 30s. 19-year-olds look like children to me. There's just a huge maturity gap in terms of life experiences. It will feel like parenting your partner. As someone who was once 19 and dated a 33-year-old, I'm gonna say no. Because there's a reason he's not dating anyone his own age. I really wouldn't recommend it. They're at very developmentally different stages. Mentally, I wasn't an adult until after 23. I was stupid ASF as a 19-year-old and now as a 28-year-old I barf at the thought of dating someone that young. They're kids. Dude. It's weird for the 30-year-old to be dating the 19-year-old. The 19-year-old just has daddy issues. As someone who was 19 dating a 31-year-old, no. It's not okay. If a 30-year-old man is looking to date someone who is still a teenager, he is not a mature, decent human. No real man is going to look for a teen. I am 26 and I would never even think to date a 19-year-old. They are children. Still learning life. All a 30-year-old man wants with a 19-year-old is to shape her into the woman he wants because he knows at that age he can manipulate the fuck out of her. Date someone in their mid-20s, at least they know a little more about real life. If you're asking yourself this question, the answer is no. Weird for both. You're fresh out of school and have no idea how the world works yet, and he had some Wooderson vibes. Nah, that's fucked. Just because someone is of age to drink and drive doesn't make them an adult. From my experience, if someone over 30 is going out with someone under 20, they'd go lower if they could. Age gap by itself is not a problem. Age gap when one party has barely entered adulthood is a moral ethical problem. Experience at being an adult is an important part of developing the skills to prevent problematic imbalances of power. What 30-year-old actually relates to a 19-year-old? The years between 18-24 you go through so many changes. I'm in my late 30s and wouldn't even touch a 19-year-old, no chance. I'm a guy in his 30s and I'd definitely never do that, and I'd raise an eyebrow to someone who would. It's legal, but ethically dubious. Only a loser would go after a kid straight out of high school. Probably can't pull women his age. It's predatory and gross. Legally, yeah. But I think it's weird that a grown-ass man is interested in someone who can't even drink alcohol. Yet, men who even find women that much younger than them attractive have something wrong with them. Emo. I started dating my BF when I was 18 and he was 35, we're still together, so I think it's fine. Let us guess. He thinks you're really mature for your age? Legally it's fine to date a man that much older, but you gotta question why women his own age don't want him. Those guys usually target younger women for a reason. Easier to manipulate, coerce, and impregnate. Legally, it's perfectly okay. Morally, no. I used to date guys older than me. And let me just say, there's ulterior motives to any guy wanting to date a girl that young. Either he is insecure or the women his age recognize that he is trash. Just make sure he is rich so you won't waste our tax dollars once you become a single mom. I suppose it is fine. But as a guy in his 30s, teaching 19-years I could not imagine a symmetrical relationship. And, since symmetry would be the foundation of a relation, emo, I could not see this going anywhere serious. Then again, I don't judge, and when it feels right it is fine. And if it is just a fling or experiencing sexuality without negativities, although this could possibly only be established post hoc, I see no reason to not be okay with it. Legally that's fine, but socially they's fucked up. I am 19 and anyone 30-35 is in a whole other fucking world than I am loudly crying I don't know what you would find attractive about someone who is barely an adult. The maturity levels and the life experience don't match up. But do what you want, but other people will judge. It's legal. Is it a good idea? Probably not. 30 what? 39? Number 30? No, 19, they're still a teenager, lol. No. In no way other than being over 18 is that okay. Sure, you're an adult, right? Here's my piece of advice: if you're the 19-year-old, save yourself the trouble and enjoy your youth. If you're the 30-year-old, save yourself the trouble and grow up. I don't think this is always malicious. Sometimes the guy in their 30s might be enjoying recapturing some of his youth, while the girl may enjoy the wisdom and competence of the older man. People are just people. There are good people and bad people. Age doesn't really matter so much. And TBH 19-yo males are fucking animals. Haha. I was one. I'm not surprised that there are young women out there that are more attracted to older man energy than young man energy. Depends on the people. The general view now is a hard no. But I got married at 19 to my husband, who was 33. That was 18 years ago, and I don't regret marrying someone older. Woman shrugging, light skin tone. Rule of thumb, half age plus 7. Legally, it's allowed. Morally, it's questionable. Personally, I don't like it. A better question is it okay for a guy in his 30s to date a 19-yo? Is your partner making you feel good? Do they act in a way that makes you happy? Are they listening to you? Seem proud of you? Those should be the questions to ask yourself when you think about a potential partner. Age could be a factor, but those count for a lot more. We've all seen situations where older partners were demeaning and choosing someone a bit more vulnerable. But there are also people who truly will want to make you get your full potential out of there. So you gotta ask the right questions. Ask your dad. I'm just saying. In my 30s, if one of my similarly aged friends starting dating a 19-year-old, I would immediately reconsider that friendship. What do you have in common with someone in their 30s? That's stupid. I hate these posts because it just ends up in a circle jerk of how everyone that's older finds anyone younger to be a child.